Good afternoon, students. So, in this lecture today, we'll discuss about Consumer Protection Act. In the previous lectures, we have discussed about various duties of medical practitioner, medico-legal case, medical negligence. We have discussed about the list of offences in professional misconduct. We have discussed various laws of negligence like medical negligence. Then we have discussed about various acts which are applicable on hospitals. So, what is a consumer? Whom do you call a consumer? A consumer is somebody or an individual or households that uses good and services generated within the economy. So, whatever goods or services is being generated by the economy, the one who is consuming it, consumer means someone who is consuming the goods or services generated by the economy. So, he is someone who acquires goods or services for direct use or ownership rather than resale or use in production and manufacturing. So instead of buying it and then further reselling it, consumer is the one person, is that person who uses it for its direct use or ownership. For example, when your father buys apple for you and you consume them, your father as well as yourself are treated as consumers. The same thing applies to hiring a taxi to go to your school. So these are few examples. Now, consumer protection, what does that mean? Why do we need to protect consumers at all, at first place? So consumer protection means safeguarding the interest and rights of the consumer. In other words, it refers to the measures adopted for the protection of consumers from the unscrupulous and unethical malpractices by the business and to provide them speedy redressals of their grievances. Nowadays, in the next slide, we'll be discussing about why does consumers need protection. So any act which safeguards the interest or is in the benefits of consumers, which protects any unethical malpractices to occur, and then also helps in seeking redressal or listening to the or attending to the grievances of consumer, those are known as Consumer Protection Act. So why protect the consumers? Why there is a need to protect the consumers? Because of the various reasons. First being collective bargaining. In the Indian market, Indian economy, in the Indian scenario, you go out to buy an apple. You know that what does seller do? They raise their prices, artificial prices too high. While they know that this is the tendency of Indian consumer to bargain, so which is why they generally keep the prices too high so that they're able to meet their demands. The next is multiple laws, जैसे for example Indian Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Essential Commodities Act. These, there are various laws which has been formed so far, but there is nothing concrete when it comes to addressing the consumer grievances. So a concrete or a strong law needs to be, or act needs to be formed which works at ground level. Then next is hurdles in the litigation. So here going to regular court, you know that it is very time consuming and expensive, and to Indian judiciary system is not that fast, so it's very tedious, so it's very time consuming and expensive to go to stand in such shoes in the courts. So there are hurdles in litigation. Then the remedy, ultimate remedy for these malpractices or unethical practices in the market Indian economy is to by in the form of punishment, in the form of punitive or deterrent measure given to those who's been found to be practicing such things. So what is Consumer Protection Act? The Consumer Protection Act was developed in 1986. Okay, was enacted for better protection of the interest of consumers. The provisions of the Act came into force with effect from 15/4/87, which means it came into existence in 1986, but it came into force or it came into effect from 87. 15th April 87. And Consumer Protection Act imposes strict liability on a manufacturer in case of supply of defective goods by them and a service provider in case of deficiency in rendering of its services. So it forms a strict liability on a manufacturer in case of supply of defective goods by him. So they know that by doing this adulteration or maintaining the poor quality of goods, they can be dragged to the courts or they're answerable. They're liable to, they can be they're answerable to jurisdiction. So the act was passed in Lok Sabha on 9th December 1986 and it came into the force from 1st July 1987. So Rajya Sabha passed on 10th December 1986 and assented on the president on 24 December. So this is all about the history of Consumer Protection Act and it was published in the Gazette of India on 26th December 1986. What are the features of Consumer Protection Act? That first is that it applies to all goods, services and unfair trade practices unless specifically exempted by the central government. So whosoever is being found to be involved in such practices like unfair trade of goods and services and all has to answer to the jurisdiction or can be compelled to the or can be dragged to the courts unless there is exemption which is made by the central government, which is unlikely so. So it covers all sectors, whether private, public and cooperative. I've just shown you a video wherein you can see that all the sectors, be it health sector, business or general economy, everywhere, private, public or cooperative, this consumer is being exploited everywhere. So it is also applicable everywhere, be it any sector. It provides for establishment of consumer protection councils at the central, state and district levels to promote protects the rights of the consumer and a three-tier quasi-judicial machinery to deal with consumer grievances and disputes. What are the objectives of Consumer Protection Act? First, to protect the consumer from abuse, to prevent exploitation on consumers, then to provide a venue for grievance and redress. Basically, now this Consumer Protection Act will give the place that where those individuals is being found to be practicing unfair trade can be dragged on to. So to ensure a better quality of living by improving the quality of consumer products and servicing. So at the end of the day, by preventing consumer exploitation, what you are trying to do here, you are improving the quality of consumers and services, the quality of life. Then what is the importance of Consumer Protection Act? First is that unorganized consumers. In developing countries like India, consumers are not organized. There are very few consumer organizations which are working on to protect the interest of consumers. Consumer protection provides power and rights to these organizations, as these organizations can file a case behalf of the customer. So we know that Indian economy, consumers or customers are not very organized, and there are several organizations who claims to be acting in an interest of consumer, but which are quacks, which are not, again they're working on for their own interest only. So second is consumer ignorance. We know that half of our population, the maximum population we have is in the rural setup, where there's lack of awareness, there's ignorance which is there. So it spreads awareness so that consumer can know about the various redressal agencies. They know that will be the venue in case of any unfair trade involvement, where they can approach to protect their interest. And third is widespread exploitation of consumers. We have just seen that no matter which sector there is, be it private, public or cooperative, there are cheatings and widespread exploitation of consumer which is going on everywhere. Then importance from business point of view. Now importance from business point of view, businessman uses society's resources. Businessmen uses the resources of the society. They earn profit by applying goods and services to the members of society. They must use these resources for the benefits of consumer, which is not otherwise the case. They are misleading the community because of their own monetary gains. Second is social responsibility. Every individual, every citizen holds a social responsibility towards one another, towards their customers, towards their consumers, which is not being done. Third is government intervention. If businessmen wants to avoid any intervention, any intervening act from the government, they should avoid any involvement in unfair trade practices. Fourth is consumer is the purpose of business, because at the end of the day it is the consumer, it is the customer only who will be creating more business for these businessmen. Then what is the scope of Consumer Protection Act? requirements to performance, composition, contents, design, construction, finish, packaging of a consumer product. So next is requirement as to kind, class, grade, dimensions, weights and material. Then requirement as to the method of sampling, test and codes used to check the quality of the products. Requirement as to precautions in storage, transporting and packaging. Then requirements that a consumer product be marked with or accompanied by clear and adequate safety warnings or instructions. For example, you have seen a smoking packet, a cigarette packet, wherein it is mentioned that it is injurious to health. So it should always come up with clear safety warnings and instructions, and respecting the form of warnings or as well. So what are the rights of consumer? First is right to safety. Every consumer wants to be protected. Anything which could be injurious or hazardous to their health should come up with the proper warning or instructions on the packaging itself. Then right to information, to be protected against dishonest and misleading advertising or labeling agencies, or right to be given to the facts and information needed to be taken about the informed choice. It should be consumer should be given the choice that whether to go ahead, whether to buy that product or that good or not. Then right to choice, to choose product at a competitive prices with an assurance of satisfactory quality. If a consumer is going out in the market and he wishes to buy the product which is comparatively expensive than its counterparts, so it is his choice to be given the better quality as well along with expensive prices or hiked prices. Then right to representation, to express consumer interest in the making and execution of government policies. Then right to seek redress, which means in case of any grievances, they should be, or there, if there is any misinterpretation, their problems or their tasks should be attended to. Then right to consumer education, to acquire the knowledge and skills necessary to be an informed customer or consumer. There should be frequent awareness program. Then right to basic needs. Every individual, every citizen is entitled to food, place and clothing. So, and shelter and clothing. So, it is our basic right to be given the proper goods or to stop any kind of unfair means of trade practices. Right to health environment. We have just seen the video wherein it could be seen that adulteration leaded to child hospitalization. So a healthy environment can also be can only be maintained when there is equality which will be there. Then consumer responsibility. Consumer must exercise his right. As a citizen of the country, there are various rights which is a consumer is entitled to. One should exercise his right. Then cautious consumer. Before buying any product out in the market, he must insist on getting full information about the quality, on the quantity, or the utility, or the price of the product. He should be completely aware. Then consumer must be quality conscious as well. Before buying the product, he should look for quality marks such as ISI mark, ISO mark, wool mark, depending upon the product he is buying. Then insist on cash memo. We have seen the black marketing of the products which leads to consumer exploitation. So always ask for the cash receipt from your seller. Then filing complaints for the redressal of genuine grievances. So without hesitating, one should file for grievances or should report or should drag the seller who's been found to be involved in unfair trade practices to the court or the Consumer Protection Act. Then how can one file a complaint? Who is a consumer? We have discussed it is one who buys goods or hires services for some values, and when or under what circumstance the complaints can be filed. Okay, then within what period? For example, one can file complaint within 3 months of purchase. If some testing of good is required, then within 5 months. Then where the complaint can be filed? Where should we one visit? It could be done at 3 levels: district forum, state commission and national commission. Now who is not a consumer? The person who obtains goods for resale. We have already discussed that consumer is one who buys a product for direct use or ownership. Anybody who buys the product for reselling cannot be called as a consumer. When three-tier consumer grievances machinery under the Consumer Protection Act, their jurisdiction, we discussed that you can go to district forum, state forum and national forum. A consumer can go in either of these three in case of grievances. So here are some practice questions which you can see. These are the references in case you need. Thank you.